Happy Saturday. Yes, we are live, honey. If you're new around here, our intro is a little long. Let's get into the intro, honey, and I will see you all in a few minutes. To the Unfiltered Doll, baby, where we do what? A little bit of cussing around here, so your parental advisory has been advised. Also, baby, listen, this is the court of public opinion, and nobody asked me to tell you a goddamn thing about these people's business. So don't take it personal, baby, because we're not talking about you, but we are talking about the people on the screen. Now let's get into this mess. Hello, hello, hello. Happy Saturday. Let me know if we have audio or not. Hello, Penelope and Elle said, only me 23. Hey, baby, thank you for starting the live off with gifting not one, but 2 Unfiltered Doll Reaction memberships. Thank you so much, baby, because what you will do is make sure the chat is green. Thank you, thank you, thank you, and welcome to the 2 new dolls. Feel free to drop your membership emojis if you want to come on out the rose bushes, or if you're not currently here in this live or in this chat, if you would like to know who gifted me a Unfiltered Doll Reactions membership, it was our good sister, only me 23. Yes, indeedy. One thing she is going to do is bless us with memberships. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you so much. Thank you for confirming my audio, Elle Sid. Hugs and kisses to you, only me 23. And a shimmy, honey, and a shake. Period. Thank you so much. Welcome on into For Always Forever for Life. Secret Be Sweet. Hello, hello, hello. Let's see who the new members are. Let me go ahead down here into my YouTube studio so that I can see who has joined our membership. I don't think I've ever seen them before, but welcome to you all. Yes. Let me see here. Susan, and we have Sister Susan, and then we have Spectacious. Well, welcome on in, baby. Welcome on in, honeys. So yes, we are going to continue to get into the exposure of the videos we were watching on yesterday's live. Hey, Seeking Truth, welcome on in. Because I really want to know what makes people tick and go boom. I want to know, and this has been going on forever, baby. Way before there was a Facebook or way before there was a TikTok. I believe y'all were getting exposed via on the MySpace, on the or no, don't date them girl.com. What was that? Was that on Facebook? It doesn't matter. People's been getting exposed for a long time, is what I will say. However, it is really, really getting to the point where some people might get hurt because they go really, really far with the exposure. I feel like if I have a problem with my mother or my father, for example, or even my own siblings, I want to try my best if I'm going to get out here and have zero shame and air the family out. I'm going to keep it to those particular people. I feel like when we start bringing in other people, then it can get, it's already funky as it is when you're exposing your own mother or your own father or somebody in your family. But when you start bringing in people that even if you all are on, you're not on good terms, I don't think everybody deserves the blow, but maybe that's just me. I'm saying all of this because this is in the DMV, is how most people, they like to wrap DC, what is it, DC, Maryland, and Virginia all together, or is that wrong? Who gives a damn? But if you're from the DC area, it is a possibility that you may know some of these names that she's going to call. You even see different videos on TikTok. They're calling her the DC whistleblower when it comes to the DC government and the different jobs that people have in familiar spaces you might be familiar with if you're from that area. Okay, so keep in mind, although I'm sharing these videos have been circulating online for years. She has been exposing her family, I believe she said, for 10 plus years now. And I am in no way, shape, or form trying to investigate. I am not a journalist. I don't give a damn whose name she's mentioning down at the DC government or the DC Housing Authority. I don't have nothing to do with any of that. We're here to get into, where is her hurt coming from? Where is her pain coming from? What is the end game of all of this? Okay. So I just wanted to say that before we got started. So let's get into it. Welcome on in. Beauty is her name for and Miss Bookie Down. Hey baby, welcome on in. Now we left off. We're going to start off with where we left off yesterday. This video popped up on my algorithm and it has been circulating. I don't know if it's an older video that she posted a long time and she did a repost on it, but this is how we got started. Now, before we get started, it only makes sense for me to go ahead and play this.
Oh, fuck the family. The family, I love the family in my house. You know what? The family fucked my husband. Yeah, Faith fucked my husband.
All right. So people, and I'm one of those people, I feel like just because you are my family, just because you are my blood, if you fuck me over, I'm done with you. I really don't care what the title is. I really don't care if you're my grandma, my aunt, my granddad. I don't care about none of that. If you fuck me over and I'm at my wit's end, that's it for you. And that's it. And that's all. Unfortunately, I know they say blood is thicker than water. Listen, baby, I guess I'll be somewhere getting a transfusion because no, I'm not with the bullshit. If I feel like I've had enough, I'll let you play with me and dog me out mentally. But there's a point in time when I'm just like, all right, you know what? I'm cool. I can't take it anymore. All right. But I don't bring it online. And I don't, I might vent about it or I might say a few things, but not to this degree. So let's get into it. Hey, my Belle and Jet Black, welcome on in. Y'all speak to the people as they come in, because I'm going to be, doing a back and forth in my actual media.
Sherry Smith, who is currently employed at the DC Housing Authority. My mom's connect is her best friend, DC Housing Authority Supervisor Sherry Smith. Accepts money in the thousands to get you processed faster for the Section 8 program. If you cannot go through Sherry, go through her brother Michael or her daughter Leanne, who is a bartender over in Southwest. But you need to have money, and that is a felony. But there are people that have done jail time for Section 8 illegal stuff. Yeah, the Section 8 program is administered locally, but that is a federal program. There are people that have gone to jail. You have to decide, do you want to try to get hookup housing or do you want housing in federal prison? Pick your poison. I actually heard if you go to jail, the feds are a better prison to go to than the local prison, like a state or a county prison. I've heard people say that, but I don't know. I don't want to go to any of them. Oh, matcha cake. It's quite yummy. And I hope y'all know my family is complicit in a lot of the fraud that I talk about.
Give me a project, bitch. Give me a hood rat trick. One that don't.
My cousin Tiana Barrow, former name Lancaster, she never changed it when she married this guy that she met working in Ross. And Shaquanda Lancaster, they aren't disabled. They were not facing homelessness. They have a wealthy Aunt Marcia, Aunt Cookie, and they got their vouchers in 3 months. A lot of y'all on here talking about y'all had babies when y'all applied. Y'all were living in homeless shelters, and y'all kids now 27. My cousin, through my mama and Miss Sherry and my mom are from the same hood. 3 months. And Shaquanda got her baby father living in there. All he do is play the damn game all day. Y'all know the rules for Section 8. Them babies' fathers in there not supposed to be there. Shaquanda Lancaster, Tiana Barrow. Tiana used to live around Mayfair, but now she got her voucher somewhere near Shaw. 3 months. This is slamming. Anybody in here a baker? This is so good. I would want this as a birthday cake.
So that's one of the videos we watched yesterday. And towards the end of the live, I'm like, damn, I know she's been telling her story for a long time and exposing her mother as well as people associated with her mother. But I'm like, damn, what happened? Like, how did we get here? So that's what we're going to get into today. So we're going to get into some of her childhood trauma. So I do want to make sure I'm putting up a trigger warning just in case, we don't know what anybody is going through. So we want to be mindful of that. And can we scroll this banner? No, we want to show it. Hold on, you guys, give me a second. Okay, let me turn this off. Wait. Okay, we got it off. Now, what the hell? Give me a moment. Hold on, y'all. Okay, cool. All right, so let's get into some of the things that she said has happened in her childhood and how we got here. All right, so we talked about mom's body odor yesterday because mom is into pill popping and things like that. All right, so we got into the video we just seen. So let's get into some other videos she has shared.
At what age did your mother begin calling you a bitch?
What's my favorite word?
No mother do not like no big fat ass daughter.
So when she was a child, she was 200 to 300 pounds. I do apologize because I forgot what I seen that fast. I want to say she was 200 or 300 pounds? I'm gonna have to play the video again. I'm sorry about that.
At what age did your mother begin calling you a bitch?
What's my favorite word?
No mother do not like no big fat ass daughter.
So she was overweight as a child. And once she got into, I guess, high school, college years, she started to naturally lose the weight. I made the mistake yesterday and said that she had weight loss surgery, but no, she actually had a tummy tuck after she had all of her weight loss, and she was actually on the Dr. Oz show.
That I know comes up. So in those dark nights when no one's around you, no one's watching you, and you're just starting to get going, did you have a mantra? How would you keep yourself going?
That there's no such thing as the impossible. If you're new here, yes, that was me on Dr. Oz doing the waltz and sharing my 170-pound weight loss story. From middle school through my 20s, I weighed over 300 pounds. And while I once sat on Dr. Oz in 2010, there's no such thing as the impossible. Keeping this weight off certainly has felt very impossible. By 2015, I was still maintaining my weight loss. Even pre-COVID, 2019, I was still doing well. But after COVID, shoot, I got back to over 200 pounds. Hold up. Let's zoom in. Medical professionals, surgeons, do you all see any incision scars that suggest I had gastric bypass? No, exactly, because I never had gastric bypass. I did have a tummy tuck though, and it hurt like hell. In 2010, the same year I was on Dr. Oz, my 350-pound mother, Marsha Ridley, did have gastric bypass at George Washington University with Dr. Afram. Here is her medical letter, but she gained all the weight back and then some. Now my mom has her minions running around on social media falsely claiming she paid for gastric bypass for me. It is crazy work to be jealous of your own daughter. Anyway, how did I lose my COVID weight and get down from 200 pounds to 133 pounds? Oh, listen, I don't recommend this, but I kind of followed the extreme chicken breast diet Matt Damon did to lose 50 pounds in 3 months for the movie Courage Under Fire.
A year before he became a household name, Matt Damon appeared in 1996's Courage Under Fire, and the young actor went all in, slimming down to just 139 pounds from around 190 pounds in order to portray a drug-addicted Gulf War veteran and eating nothing but chicken breast.
I tweaked the diet a little. I ate chicken breast every day with egg whites, drank only water, loaded up on veggies, and did 60 to 90 minutes of treadmill or boxing daily. To stay motivated, I needed to see results fast, and Matt Damon's little diet worked. But I don't follow his diet anymore. These days, my weight mostly stays down because I'm back in America and the food here is nasty and the customer service is bad. I went to a alleged French restaurant and asked them could they make me a chocolate mousse on the fly, and they were like, we don't have the ingredients. So I grazed on salad, potato chips, mind my business, read books, and watch airplanes.
This is a big rich town.
So she does a lot of vlogging. She does a lot of traveling and storytelling. And her storytelling, unfortunately, it is her exposing her childhood trauma, what she's been through with the abuse of her mother, the abuse from her stepfather, the abuse from her brother, different family members, and to throw in a little razzle dazzle, she is exposing a lot of behind the scenes things that are going on within the DC government and their employees, okay? Different sectors or whatever, however you departments or however you do that government lingo from down there. So it gets a little harsh. FYI, it might be some of your family members, somebody you know, friends, you may work in the same area she's discussing. I will let you know right now in her comment section, there are people confirming and agreeing with what she is saying about the things that were going on. I don't know what time, what place, what the dates are. I wasn't there. I don't work there. I don't know anybody there. I just want to put that out there, baby. This is her telling her story. So I feel like her weight loss has a lot to do with her courage to come out here and tell people what has been going on when she was growing up. That's just my opinion. There's something about the weight loss, because if you notice, she always refers to her mother's size. And it is something about her weight loss because of how she was treated when she was a plus size little girl. Okay. So we already talked about her weight loss and how she lost the weight, how old she was when her mother started to address her and call her a bitch. And now we're going to get into more of her story.
Remember I told y'all a few months after this photo was taken, my 200+ pound mother, Marsha Ridley, stomped on my face for my being too loud in the basement? As a result of that, she fractured my jaw. So my face, if I could show you guys, was literally like this. It was like deformed. And I also had a dimple. And I just remember when I was at Children's National Medical Center getting x-rays, being treated and all that, DC police, two DC police officers came there. One was female, one was male. They were just kind of, I saw them talk to the doctor. But they never came over and spoke to me. But I don't remember my mom being reprimanded to go to any, or forced to go to any classes, arrested, or any charges. And my stepdad, during this one of our lunch dinner meetings at Copper Canyon, told me that he used his labor union connection to make sure that my mother was not arrested, and someone knew that judge to make sure that my mother wasn't penalized. I guess with the labor unions, even though my dad was a labor union negotiator, they still have like an attorney advisor. And he told me that attorney advisor was married to or dating that judge. And that's how he made sure that my mom was not arrested. And I don't even know if she got a record for when she fractured my jaw. It's just a full circle moment, because even today I'm looking at some of the influence, or the influence, that my family and mother, they still have over people as high as sitting judges and clerks in courts. So that's all. I didn't cry. I made it through that story.
So you did this in retaliation to, you did.
So I wasn't treating you as a daughter. Talk freely in front of Miss Dina. Let's talk about how many times since you wanted to come to the court, but you ain't come with the records when you broke my jaw for being too loud in the basement. Tell me I'm lying. I was never in Children's Hospital because you broke my jaw and stepped on my face. Tell me I'm lying.
They say this is a big rich town. I just come from the poorest part.
Where is her father?
So sharing my family trauma in real time, my biological father, who I have not heard from in 2.5 years, has started to text me almost every day, or really troll me, suggesting that I commit suicide, or making jokes that I should commit suicide, and also calling me Mr. Prada. I didn't know who that was, but I had to go look. Mr. Prada is a TikTok influencer arrested for killing his therapist. Not sure why my father is calling me that. My father is trolling me every day since I started to pose his son, my brother, Joseph Andy Gingery's 25+ year drug career. My dad isn't only doing this because, oh my gosh, you're posting about your brother. My father is the owner of Jingo Auto Works in Hyattsville, Maryland. And for a while, my brother did use my father's business address and Fort Washington's home address falsely so that he could get his home in Rockville, Maryland, his wife and kids, get cars, get timeshares. You know, when the police did do drug raids, instead of them doing it at the home where my brother lived with his kids, they did the drug raids at my father's house in Fort Washington. And I have to tell you guys, when they do drug raids, I guess they're trying to make a statement, but they tore my dad's house up in Fort Washington multiple times. I posted on social media that I've been in the hospital with cardiac issues. I had family members coming to my house to beat me up, and my father never contacted me about that. Throughout my life, my father was just absent. He said to me when I was very young, he was ashamed that I was a morbidly obese child. He was embarrassed of how I looked, and he certainly showed that in his absenteeism. He just wasn't there. One more thing I want to add, that in all my life, I never knew my father to go to any auto mechanic program. This auto shop, Jingo Auto Works in Hyattsville, just popped up after my dad was fired from DC Public Schools at Hart Middle School. He beat one of his coworkers in the head with a hammer and beat this man so bad, and he still has a disability to this day. Also, I went to look at the reviews for my father's shop. I was just curious. A lot of the reviews I see that are positive were written by my family members. And the negative reviews, my father is on there responding to people talking about, you're just mad because I didn't give you some Popeyes. And I'm just sharing this because it speaks to my father's cuckoo-ness and his state of mind. But yeah, just sharing that my biological father, the man that gave me life, is texting me like a child almost every day. And he knows that I'm still receiving cardiac care, suggesting that I commit suicide.
So, with her exposing her family online, some of the family have been meeting up at her mom's house, and things were starting to get dangerous for her. But she lives in and out of the country. She does a lot of traveling. So, she even had a psychic reach out to her, telling her she needs to be careful because there's someone setting up a plan to pretty much take her out of here. And she also had a neighbor that was hired to spy on her because of this exposure that she's been doing.
Return to America for healthcare, tired of going to emergency rooms abroad where sometimes no one speaks English. But my mom is pissed that I exposed she stole my stepdad's insurance money and that my stepfather left me my house in a family trust. This woman won't even let me get healthcare in peace. We're reporting live from Bitch Ass Nigga News Network. I'm your reporter. Here we have Leonard J.R. Lucas, my neighbor that lives here, that my mother, Marsha Ridley, is paying $100 a month to send time and date stamp pictures of me from that camera right there, so that my mom and family members that want to jump me have evidence of all my comings and goings. This is his house. So it's right outside my house. Instead of pointing to the street, it points at my house. And he sends pictures to my family of my coming and goings. My mom gives him like $200 a month. One of my cousins told me. With his camera, he is pointed directly at my house. He sends pictures to my family. Craziness. That's what I'm going through.
Someone please call 911.
I most certainly did email the U.S. Attorney Matt Graves and Commander Levenhouse. Matt Graves said he was too busy still fulfilling wet dreams of prosecuting January 6 participants. But nope, it's a bird, it's a plane, it's a black woman to save the day. 4th District Commander Nikki Levenhouse sent officers to my house to take a report immediately. I showed officers seeing these texts from Aunt Flower saying something about my family's coming to jump me and backdoor me. I thought they meant an actual backdoor. It was a verb.
Hi, this message is for Carolyn. This is Detective Love with the D.C. Police. I was giving you a call in reference to a report I'm investigating. If you could, you can give me a call back. My number is 202.
Oh, and he ain't got nothing to do with the story. I was in 7-Eleven getting a snack, and I heard him tell the cashier he used to be a boxer, so I wanted to box. Then, because I don't have any cute winter clothes in America, I went to Bloomingdale's. Hey, guys, I'm going on a date. I hope I look nice. I don't do a lot of makeup because I'm actually allergic, but yeah, I'm going on a date to be a girl. But with someone I've already been going on a date with. It's not a first date. And he voted for Donald Trump. Yep, I still live a life outside of this chaos, but I tell most people my name is Cece, which is the name my black male teacher, Mr. Berry, gave me at the Duke Ellington School of the Arts. And nope, I don't share any of my problems or trauma with people I date. A stripper turned real estate broker once told me, dudes don't want to hear your problems. And then I went back to hiding out in my hotel because I'm too scared to go home.
They say this is a big rich town.
Jesus, I wouldn't even tell her the weather for today because she just gonna tell it all. She does sound credible. And like I said, when you go into her comment section, there are people who live in the DC area who are DC government employees who piggyback and say, girl, or you know what I mean? They agree, and there's not anybody disputing anything that she's saying, but I feel like it's dangerous. And at the same time, I don't know if this exposure, maybe it is keeping her safe because it will be obvious if she's harmed or if something's going to happen to her. But I just feel like, well, what do they all got to do with it? But here's the thing. Her stepfather, when he died, he left her money that was supposed to be split between her mom, his biological daughter, and whomever else. And they stole her money. And she was already in the process of, doing the work to heal from her childhood trauma. And when that happened, I guess that's when it was war. But her mother is a DC employee as well as other family members. And the way she makes it sound is like they got shit on lock. They know people. They claim, I'm not from there. I don't live there. Depending on who you know in DC, especially if you are a DC employee, you pretty much can have your way with whatever. I don't know. I don't live there. I'm not from there. So I can't tell you if that is what's going on. But I will say people in the comment section of her TikTok who do live in DC, who do work for DC government, they sort of get down there and agree with what she's saying. All right. Pretty much her whole thing is you don't need an education. You don't even have to graduate from high school. If you know someone within the DC government, you can get on in there and get your six figures, get you a six-figure job and not even know how to barely read. That's what she's saying, baby. I don't, like I said, I don't know those people and I don't live in the Washington, D.C. All right. So just want to make that loud and clear. Speaking of her stepfather, for this to make sense, where does he come in at? Well, he was also physically abusive to her. And people felt like with her exposing her mother on behalf of them stealing the check that was due to her from her stepfather passing away, they felt like, well, if he was someone that was abusive to you, why would you want what he left for you? And, she does do a video and she gets into pretty much saying, because it's mine. It's my money. And just like if it was your money, wouldn't you go out there and fight for what's yours? So, that's just me paraphrasing and putting it in my own words. So where did the stepdad come into this? Well, let's get into that portion here. Let me go ahead and find that video. Bear with me. Because this is what, we'll get into that in a minute.
Excuse me, sorry. Are you two a couple? Would you mind telling us the story of how you first met?
My mother was a real whore.
Hey, so someone on TikTok asked, how did my mother, Marsha Ridley, and stepfather, Roscoe Ridley Jr. meet? So first of all, it is certainly not that love story that was told at his funeral.
Upon hearing about Roscoe's passing, I had a chance to call Marsha. She answered the phone and she said to me, Ange, Roscoe and I had the best life.
When my mother and stepfather started to have an affair, my stepfather was a completely married man to Newport Nancy, a stepsister's mother. Her name is Joyce Mutcherson, but it was Joyce Ridley then, and had a daughter at home who was 1 year older than me. They met when my stepfather was a DC Department of Public Works government plumber. He was doing plumbing work in my mother's government building and started an affair. I do not remember my mom getting dressed up to go on dates with this man or anything like that. Just that one morning I got up and he was in our kitchen eating Scrapple. Him and my mom just had sex. I'll call it like it is. And he was in his DPW uniform and he used to sneak at our house. I understand now, and he was telling his wife that he was doing side plumbing jobs, I guess he was, to come sleep with my mother and have an affair. And one thing I just remember and I don't like, it's just like he instantly came in our house and my mom wanted to make him feel like he was the man of the house by allowing him to discipline us instantaneously. And my stepfather his name is Roscoe. Do I need to say enough? But he's from Southeast DC. His form of discipline physically was gangsta. I'm only 5'1", 5'2" as an adult, so imagine how little I was at 7, 8, 9 years old. And I'll talk about that in another post. That's just hard for me. But yeah, that's how they met.
They say this is a big rich town. I just come from the poorest part.
Maybe when my mom was sleeping with so many damn people's husbands, their wives, and one guy, Mr. Wayne, he had like a daughter that might have been 18, 19, or 20. They came over to beat my mama up. And it was so weird. Like when these people came over to fight my mom, she was never like, get your ass in the house. She let me stand there and watch it. Or she was just so focused on cussing these women out. It's the weirdest thing, the things I've seen in my childhood. When my biological dad left my mom, all her new boyfriends, it was 3 in particular, and she brought them in our house really fucking fast. But all 3 of them were married men. And I'm not gonna front, my mom, she wasn't as big as she is now. My mom had a little bit of money. She had a good government job, even though she had no high school diploma. She had a decent car. She was cute. And I just don't understand why she kept going after only married men and bringing them in our house so fast. It was like, who's this? Mr. Ron, Mr. Wayne, and then Mr. Ridley, who she married. Yeah, she wasn't as big. My mom was cute. She was always a little thick. She used to be skinny back in the day, but after 3 kids, you know, she was a little thick. And she used to dress cute. Kept dating married men. And I mean, like, when my dad left my mom, it was no chill time, downtime. She went right out and started bringing these married men in our house. And I think that with my mom, it wasn't that she was necessarily heartbroken. She cared about the appearance of not having a man, because everybody in the neighborhood saw my dad left. All her friends and people at work probably knew it was like a status thing not to have a man. It's probably something coming from my grandmother. My mom had this obsession with always having a man once my dad left her. That's a good man, Savannah. Yeah, probably like that mother in Waiting to Exhale. Man. And it's so interesting how our grandmothers or great-grandmothers, just having a man is better than no man, even if it's an ain't shit man.
So yeah, that's the story with how the stepfather came into the picture. So here she is. She's a little girl. She's 300 pounds. She's getting abused by her mother. She's, having issues with her biological father, who she says felt like he was ashamed of her because of her size. And no shade. Daddy don't look like he was no twig himself. As a matter of fact, when we go back to that video,
So sharing my family trauma in real time, my biological...
If you look at the bottom of the TikTok video, Joseph is a big motherfucker. He's a big, you know what I'm saying? So for him to be embarrassed because she's big is crazy.
So sharing my family trauma in real time, my biological father, who I have not heard from in 2.5 years, has started to text me.
Joseph had a few necks on him, and I do apologize if that's your uncle or granddaddy, but he got a few necks on him. So I find that crazy that he was embarrassed because his daughter was overweight. Any goddamn way. So this shit really got crazy because, like I said, they took what was left for her from her stepfather. So now she's telling a story about that as well.
Hey guys, I am in Prince George's County, Maryland this morning. Come with me as I prove that my mother and stepsister Aurelia Ridley, my mother Marsha Ridley, they stole my stepfather's beneficiary money and changed their will in this very building with my mother's best friend, Sarita Lee, who is the Register of Wills. So come with me.
Y'all want to see a dead body?
Yeah. Yep, this is the funeral of my stepfather, Roscoe Ridley Jr., that raised me since I was 8.
I'm sorry. I forgot. Trigger warning. Unfortunately, with her storytelling and her exposing everybody and anything, there is a portion of this video where she is going to show you her stepfather, and unfortunately, it is he has gone to glory, and you're going to see him in his casket. I'm sorry, I forgot all about that. I do apologize.
Hey guys, I am in Prince George's County, Maryland this morning. Come with me as I prove that my mother and stepsister Aurelia Ridley, my mother Marsha Ridley, they stole my stepfather's beneficiary money and changed their will in this very building with my mother's best friend, Sarita Lee, who is the Register of Wills. So come with me.
Y'all want to see a dead body?
Yeah. Yep, this is the funeral of my stepfather, Roscoe Ridley Jr., that raised me since I was 8. I wore this Anne Klein dress from Poshmark that I've since thrown in the trash. At the casket, this is my mother, Marsha Ridley, and her bestie, Sarita Lee. They're Prince George's County Register of Wills that has no legal background, isn't a lawyer, but a Strayer grad and former supervisor at Verizon. She was appointed by the real-life Councilman Tate, Angela Alsobrooks.
Nigga, what?
Angie spoke at my stepfather's funeral, too. I'll get back to her dirt in another post. Oh, nasty self.
Close your legs to married men.
Anywho, important to note that my stepfather died of lung cancer caused by sarcoidosis and spent the last 4 years of his life bedridden and completely blind due to untreated glaucoma from when he was a little boy. All to say my stepfather was not in any position physically or cognitively to change a will or trust 4 years prior to his death. But nope, this ICDC college grad, my mother's best friend, Sarita Lee, the Register of Wills, helped my mother generate and establish a false will and trust.
I'm getting my shit if it's okay with you. What? Is that okay with you? She asked 5 times.
4 days after my stepfather's funeral, I was punched by a family member. After the assault, I sent a text to Maryland State's Attorney Aisha Brayboy on how to file a protective order, which I successfully did. My mom, Marsha Ridley, was pissed that I filed this protective order against her golden child that already had Maryland drug indictments. So in retaliation, months later, with the help of my stepfather's biological daughter, U.S. Department of Energy employee Aurelia Ari Ridley, my mom cashed a $55,000 life insurance check that was made out to me. How do I know this? Well, MetLife told me I should have received a beneficiary check, and both my oldest brother, Kevin Gingery, told me my mom cashed my check, and my 300-pound biological father, who my 300-pound mother has rekindled a romantic relationship with, sent texts boasting that my mother cashed my beneficiary check and that my mother, Marsha Ridley, gave him $10,000 of my money. Oh, by the way, today is my birthday. Yes, this hurts bad, but from childhood to now, I have been through so much, my tear ducts don't even work anymore. And nope, I have no support system because everyone believes things like this shouldn't hurt me merely because I travel and stay in luxury hotels. Happy New Year.
They say this is a big rich town. I just come from the poorest part.
So the man that you seen screaming in her ear, that is her brother. Just to let you know how the family gets down. She's no longer part of her, she's no longer around her family. She does not speak to them. These are old videos, and she's just, you know, showing receipts and sharing her trauma via storytelling on Instagram and TikTok. I'm not sure if she's on Facebook as well. But like I said, I feel like it's dangerous. But then again, I'm like, well, it's dangerous, but is it going to keep her safe? Because, you know, if something were to happen to her, it's going to automatically point in the direction of these family members. Oh, she has told the law. She's included some of those clips into some of these videos that we've seen, Samantha, of some of the police officers and whatnot. So yeah, it's pretty nasty for her. And I can't tell anybody how to process trauma, and you can't tell someone how to get over it. But I feel like if you are going to do a little story time, there is a safe way and a responsible way to expose family. The use of the first and the last names and the attack on livelihoods, because regardless if the DC government is corrupt or not, I just don't feel like it is her responsibility to expose that. That's just my opinion. But then again, she was also a DC employee of, you know, she was also an employee of DC government. She says she's retired right now. But I just feel like you have to be careful. Now on her page, she does expose herself because people felt like, who are you to? They call her the DC whistleblower. I don't know about that, but they said, well, who are you to tell and expose people like you don't have some shit going on with yourself? So she even exposed the type of shit that she was doing in her position when she was also an employee of, you know, the DC government as well. And when she shared that story, you have plenty of people saying, and you're talking about these other people when you were up to no good as well in your position. But you know, it is what it is, unfortunately, I guess. But here's another video here. I don't know what this one is.
DC Housing Authority is probably the most ghetto place. When I was at the DC Housing Authority, you can look it up, you'll see her name. The woman that was in charge of procurement and acquisition, like all the purchasing for the DC Housing Authority, she took the agency credit card and paid for her wedding. She was getting married later in life. I mean, she was like 40 something. I can see her right now and I can't remember her name. And they let her pay back in installments. Adrian Topman was the director. She took the agency credit card and paid for her wedding. And trust me, I worked at the Housing Authority. I assure you, there are DC Housing Authority employees in here silent and watching this live. Hey, DCHA. Hey, oh, 1133 crowd. They got them a new building. Fancy. Man, when I came back to America and rode by what 1133 used to be, like a condo, I was so surprised. DC Housing Authority, they pay okay. They pay comparable to DC government. There's a lot of just nastiness and dirtiness going on there, too. I was in Adrian's office. The only people I still know at the Housing Authority, Keith Pettigrew, Hamra. Oh, Sherry. Miss Sherry is still there. The woman that was hooking up people with Section 8 with my mother, my cousins, and other family members. Keith Pettigrew, whatever his name is, he was the HR director, and now he's the director of the DC Housing Authority. He is proof that you can just do anything. He slept with so many women and just continues to get promoted. Craziness. But yeah, if you see Keith Pettigrew at a bar, I don't know, get you a job. I don't know if I'm giving the best advice right now. Sorry, guys.
She got that housing job because of her mother. Well, that's her point of exposing a lot of the things that are going on in DC, that it's all about who you know. It's all about who you know. I have no idea how old she is for Always Forever for Life. I want to say maybe she's our age, or maybe she's in her 50s. I know she's not young, though. I will say that just based off of the pictures alone. If we go to this, and I'm sorry, where she's explaining that her mother calls her a B. If we go to this picture and just look at the clothing.
At what age did your mother begin calling you a bitch?
What's my favorite word?
No mother do not like no big fat ass daughter.
Just the clothing alone when she was a little girl, I want to say it's giving that she's in her late 40s or 50s. She does look young, right? But yes, it's looking like 40s or 50s. So yes, indeed. Yeah, I feel like she definitely needs to be careful. Her lashing out, but again, like I said, I can't tell anybody, we can't tell anybody how to heal and what to do with their trauma. But I don't think it's not anything safe. And it makes me wonder, she claims that she loves to travel. And I wonder if she travels so much because she's not feeling like she's safe to be in the United States, as she's airing people out all over the people's internet. I mean, because there's plenty of videos where you can tell she's not in the United States. She's in someone's hotel. She's in someone's pool. She's showing videos where she's on dates with people, and she's definitely not in the States. So, like I said, I think she knows that she's not safe here, but I guess she has to come here back and forth for healthcare reasons. So yeah, I wanted to definitely make sure I followed up on what I said yesterday about getting into more of her videos. This will be the last video because hell, I don't want to be on anybody's list, even if this is old tea or old information. Baby, I don't want nobody coming for me because I done told all the people's business through the sharing of her videos. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, that's a lot. That is a lot. Somebody said something about her stepfather in the comment section. Let me see if I can still find that. But why did her stepdad, hey, my bell, why did her stepdad leave her anything? I thought he was awful to her. Well, he raised her since she was 8 years old. Remember, her mama stole him from his wife and they ended up getting married. And he raised her since she was 8 years old. So that was her stepfather, but he was her, he was her father. He raised her. So yeah, he left her, of course she was part of his will, but like she said, his discipline was gangster. He was physical whenever he disciplined his children. So, that's unfortunate. I have no idea what Keith looks like, child. I didn't look up the people. No, I did not. Let me see. What is this right here? Oh, so if you remember, there's not rumors, but people in the family and the whispers about her mom and her body odor is a big thing. It's an ordeal. And I think it has everything to do with her mom. She said her mom has an addiction to popping certain pills, pain medication. I wasn't there I don't know her mama from a can of paint, but this is the last video about the living situation, because people get in the comments and ask, well, if your mom is running around with such a stench, how was she getting men? And what about your stepfather? Like, how was he dealing with that? Why didn't he tell her about, how she was smelling and so on and so forth?
Hey guys, I am in. People have asked, why didn't my stepfather, my mother's husband, ever say anything about her smell? So first thing, he didn't want to be cussed out. My mom feels like talking about her smell is a complaint or insult, and my mother's words are like bullets. And I do, sorry if you're from Deanwood, DC, I think my mom's ability and tenacity to cuss people out comes from her growing up in Deanwood, DC. And also to add, my stepfather, my stepdad was very dependent on my mother. That was his primary caregiver. My stepdad had a number of ailments. He had glaucoma as a little boy and it was untreated. He had heart disease, sarcoidosis, lung issues, diabetes, acute asthma, acute breathing issues since he was a little boy. And I'll say the one time that my stepfather did say something but didn't say something about my mother's smell directly, he told me and my stepsister, his daughter Ari, that he wants to move into the guest room. And we're both like, first of all, dude, you are 6'5" and you're going blind. We probably called him blind instead of say going blind, but we said you're going blind. The guest room bed is super small. It's a queen size bed and it's super low. The bed in our parents' marital bedroom was high and it was a big king size bed, and it was easy for him, he's 6'5", to just touch the bed and sit on it. This guest room bed is super low. His feet were hanging off the bed. Me and my sister are going off like, you can't be independent. You're going to hurt yourself. And he said to me and my stepsister, his daughter Ari, he said, I just don't want to sleep in the same bed with Marsha anymore. The sheets don't smell good, and I don't want to use the same toilet and bathroom as her. Make sure with the guest room bathroom, Marsha does not use my bathroom. I do not want to use the same toilet as Marsha. And me and my stepsister, we had both separately already talked about my mother's smell, so we were like, we got it, 10-4. And from maybe 2018, 2019 to his death in 2022, he did not sleep in the same room with my mother. He never went back. I think when people came over, that's a personal question. No one really asked about it. They just said, oh, he's sick. Maybe he just wanted another room to himself. But yeah, so hopefully I answered the question. He never said anything directly because my mom will cuss you out. And that's it.
I just can't imagine. I can't imagine at all, but that's her story and that's what she said. Penelope asks, isn't glaucoma treatable? I believe it's treatable, but there's no cure for that. Like, I know my grandmother is still up until this day dropping, honey has about 3 to 4 different eye drops that she has to use daily. So you can treat it, but there's no cure for it at all. So, child, whew, Lord have mercy. So those are all of the videos. I believe we did watch all of the videos that I did share with you all. There's more. She has a whole page of videos, but like I said, this is just a continuation from yesterday, because I was wondering, like, damn, how did we get here? What made us say, you know what, I'm airing everybody out? And this is pretty much a slideshow, if you will, of what was really going on and where it all started and where she's at now with it. Now, if her mama is still running around here at her grown age in her 60s and she's popping those Percocets and she's declining to take care of that, I do have a message for her.
Good morning. 3 words. Wash your ass. I tell you what, y'all, we are in a pandemic of stinktail. Everywhere you go, Walmart, doctor's office, grocery store, everywhere smells like they have rubbed down with Funyuns, Cheetos, pissed on themselves for 3 days and slept in it and just kept on going. I don't understand it, so I'm going to say, if y'all are going to normalize walking around stinking like you do, I'm going to normalize to start telling you that you smell like busted ass. 3 words. Wash your ass. 3 more words. Stink, stank, stunk. Happy Friday.
Happy Saturday. She said what she said. Y'all get on, and please, what y'all need to do is wash y'all asses if you're not doing so, okay? Maybe you felt like you was going to take a shower a little later. Get off this live right now and wash your ass, okay? Get in the water. Thank you. Go on and get in the water, baby. We ain't doing shit over here. Get in the water, please, and thank you. I am going to share her page. Give me one moment. I'm in the middle of updating some things. There's also people in her comments that threaten to expose her and expose her tea as well. And she does have something in her bio for them, just in case, Give me a moment. Bear with me, please. All right. So when it comes to what she's doing and how she's telling her story and whatnot, first and foremost, here is her page. So you can screenshot this right here. Okay. I'm not going to try to say that last name, but it's Caroline. Okay. Is it Caroline? Jingori? That's how I'm going to give it to you. Okay. So this is Caroline, or is it Carolyn? Who gives it? No, Carolyn is CAROLYNE, Lord, LYNE or some shit like that. This is Caroline, or who knows? I'm gonna say it's Caroline. Shit, I don't know. Any damn way, there it is. It don't take that long to screenshot. I don't think it takes that long to screenshot. Hopefully y'all got it. This is where you want to go if you want to see what she got going on over there on her TikTok page and her storytelling. And she does have a voice that kind of, I don't mind. She's well spoken, and I was sort of locked in. I was doing a lot of story times with her yesterday, to the point where I said, let me get the hell on off of this lady's page. Let me get off her page, because it's to the point where I'm watching her make wings in the air fryer, and she's on a date. She's on dates and carrying on. I said, all right, it's time for me to get on off the page, because I don't necessarily agree with the degree of exposure that she's offering to her family and the people employed down at the DC government, but and the DC Housing Authority. She really don't like the people at the DC Housing Authority, child. But there I was, all up in her business. And for anybody who feels like she needs to be careful with what people will tell about her, she said, you can't pull any skeletons out of my closet when I operate the MFing morgue. So there's that. All right. And she's letting you know that, she's giving you all of her acronyms here and where she used to be at, which was the DC government, the the DC Housing Authority, and all of the such. So there you have it. All right. So child, it's given a lot. All right. It is a lot. But I just want to keep in mind, baby, this is the disclaimer here. Views equal personal opinions only. This content is for entertainment purposes, but trust and believe this is somebody's real life. Listener notice: the views and opinions shared in this live stream reflect personal experiences and perspectives, good and bad opinions you may agree or disagree with. Guest opinions, meaning my dolls and guys that are in my live chat, if you are paying attention to my live chat replay, or if you're reading my comments, they do have their freedom to express and their freedom of speech, baby. Nobody has to agree with me, and you do not have to agree with one another, but we do ask that you keep it cute and respect one another. Thank you. I appreciate that. Okay. And pretty much that's all I got, honey, when it comes to her. Okay, DMV, you might have a good old time. on her page, baby, because she is airing them out. Okay. She is airing them out. Yes, she is. So that's all I have as far as that is concerned. I wonder if I have another live up in me to get into anything else. I don't know. I didn't want to come home from that part-time job and fall asleep because I have to get back up early in the morning again. So I feel like if I take my nap now, it's going to interrupt the sleep that I need to get later. So I'm trying to figure out, is there something else we can get into and talk about? Oh, I wanted to talk about Corey, but I think I want to do a new live on that because that requires me to Corey Rickett. And you know what? I'm not in the mood to do that. No, I'm not in the mood to do that. I think that's it and that's all. Does anybody have anything for me? Not a topic. Is there anything you would like to say before we depart and get on out of here? Hey, Rico, welcome on in, baby. I didn't get a chance to say hi to a few of you that were here in the chat. My Bell 15. Hello, Samantha Lake. Welcome on in. We don't have too many people in here, so I don't think. Chanelli, hey, baby. Incoming pressure, allegedly. Hey, honey, welcome on in. The Duchess. Hello, hello, hello to Jet Black. Kimmy Who. Let's talk about it all. Welcome on in, Kathy in Oregon City, South Side. Hey, baby, how are you? You're not here with us, or are you? Look at you spending time with us when you're away. Okay. DC is small. My sister and niece lived there for a couple of years. They ran back to New York City. I'll tell you about my time in DC. My godmother lived in DC, and I was 13 years old, and I went down to DC for about 3 weeks. I always say I went down there for the summer, and I went into a store. My godmother used to have house parties. And this particular house party, she had to get the kids out of the house party. And it's so funny because my godmother also worked for DC government. Got her a good ass job with the DC government that she left here to move. And baby, she was living in a high rise. She was doing really, really well. Unfortunately, may she rest in peace. Honey, she got hooked on that white snow. Okay, she got hooked onto that powder, that partying and carrying on. But anywho, we stopped at a store to get some snacks for myself because she was taking me to her friend's house, and her daughter was the same age as, we were the same age. And hey, Nikki, I haven't talked to her since Jesus was a boy, but anyway. I went in there and got some ice cream and something else. And Lord have mercy, somebody came in there with a pantyhose, with a pair of stockings over his face. Originally, I thought he was just, something deformed. I didn't realize I was caught up in a damn robbery, child. I'm in the damn store. He done came in there with the pair of stockings over his head, like we used to see in the movies. Then put his grandmammy stockings over his face and came into them people's store to rob the damn store. And what did he tell me to freeze, or did he tell me to? I forgot what he said to me, but all I know is I got the fuck up out of there. All I know is he had a gun and everything. All I know is I ran up out of that MF for so quick. Do you hear me? So quick, I ran up out of that door. Ran up out of there, jumped into my godmother's car, couldn't breathe, had to open up a pack. I had double mint gum. It was either double mint or juicy fruit. I don't know what it was, but I had to chew so many pieces of that gum before I could tell her what the hell was going on. I had to chew so many pieces of that gum in order to get it out on what was going on, baby. And when they called back home and told my mom and dad and them what happened, baby, they came and got me so quick. Oh, baby, they came and got me. The next day, honey, they came and got me up out of bed. And got me up out of the DC. I'm going to tell you how long ago it was. I remember going to the movie theater with my godmom to see Boys in the Hood. We went to go see Boys in the Hood. And that's when I also found out that Boys in the Hood was playing in the movie theater, just to tell you how long ago this was. And this is when I found out that we say pop up here. And I found out that the people in DC say soda. Because when I asked for a pop, the guy was looking at me and my godmother had to tell me, no, it's soda here. So yeah. Hey, Ale, welcome on in. So yeah, baby, DC, honey, I guess a time was had. Honey, my mom and my dad, they was telling you, why would you run? You girl, you could have died. He could have killed you. You never turn your back when there's an armed robbery. I mean, they was on me. They were on me, but it's just like how I'm 13. What was I didn't know that. You know what I mean? I'm getting the hell out of here. You talking about some freeze or stay or whatever he said. I'm getting the fuck up out of here. I am not about to play with this man. Here I thought something was wrong with his face. This was around the time when movies like Mask and what was that guy with the mop, the toxic, whatever it was. I thought he had that going on. You know what I mean? We still trying to figure out what the hell Rocky had going on the Mask. I didn't know he was coming in there to rob the damn store and had them damn pantyhose all up on his face, baby. And I think the damn legs, I don't even think he cut the damn legs out of them. I think he was literally in that store with the damn, or maybe I'm mixing the movie. I don't know, baby, but he had them pantyhose. He had them pantyhose over his face, baby. And he was coming in there to rob them people's store. He didn't chase after me, thank God. Yes, DC government is a mess. I had many summer jobs in a DC hobby mint job, thanks to Mayor Marion Barry. And yes, DC is also very small. So yeah, baby, the mask made me scared of He said the mask had her scared. I'm not even going to hold you. Cher is gorgeous, right? But for some reason, when she started playing in some of these movies, it was given like, oh, Cher, you a little rough, ain't it? Cher, you rough as shit. She was rough in that movie. Oh my goodness. What happened to the fellow that played in The Mask? Is he still with us? I'm gonna have to look into that, honey. I watched that movie so many times. Cher was rough in that. My God. Let me go see. Let me go ahead. Hold on, y'all. Let me see. Speaking of yeah, they still sell them pantyhose, the pantyhose, I believe. Because remember, you got tights, and then you got stockings. What you say, Cheryl was you say Cheryl they drink it. You know, they say the people in Hollywood, you know what they say they be you know where they say they get their youth from. But we're not gonna get into all of that. I told y'all I don't reside there anymore with all my conspiracies and shit like that. I don't live there anymore. I don't like to go into the rabbit holes of all of that. But yeah, where did they I don't know where you get them from, where you get the pantyhose, but I know my mom, I'm sorry, Mama Doll, I'm telling all her business, baby, she didn't put her underwear on with them pantyhose. I remember that. I didn't like that. I didn't understand that, but she, you know, I didn't realize as a kid, you know, as a kid, when your mom is changing out of her clothes and whatnot, and you know, honey, Mama Doll, she was a party animal, okay? She had a city, speaking of these government jobs, but she had a city job, all right? And I would always wonder, like, that is so nasty. Why is she wearing stockings? Because I called them stockings. Why is she wearing stockings and ain't got no piece of panty on? But if you recall, in pantyhose, the cotton part where you put your cat at, there was cotton in the area where your cat is supposed to rest with comfort. So some of the ladies didn't put on no panties. They didn't put them drawers on with their pantyhose. Yes, I remember the egg. Yes, the stockings that came in the egg. Yes, come on. And I believe didn't knee highs come in eggs as well? Do they still sell knee highs? Oh my God, that is so crazy. My mom still probably has a drawer full of pantyhose. She was the pantyhose and slip queen, and you better have on a slip, baby. You should not have a piece of. My mom is a stickler for seeing anybody's underwear lines. She does not want to see your bra strap, and don't have no stomach. Oh, baby, don't have no stomach. You better not have no damn stomach. It's like, what are the girls supposed to do if you got a stomach? What are you supposed to do? Put a girdle on. She feels like you have no right to be out here with your stomach out like that. And I don't mean out because you have on a crop top. She should not see your stomach. It kills my mom till this day, now that she's older and in her, she's 75. It bothers her that she has a stomach and she's as small as she is. Because, baby, she didn't play that shit. Don't be outside and she can see your stomach jiggling. You need to make sure you put a girdle on. Hold all of that in. Real funny acting. Real funny acting. Wear your long johns in the winter, so you have to make sure you have on your base layers. You have to make sure you have on a base layers. I told my mom, I'm not putting on. I got these pair of leggings. And these leggings were they're called, I forgot the name of them, but it is like a control top legging. And usually I'm very careful with wearing things like that, but this particular day my jacket or my shirt was not long. So therefore the leggings, honey, was doing a number. I walked in front of my mom. I think we were in Costco. She was just like, oh, girl, damn. I'm sorry. I said, I'm not about to put all that stuff on. You're going to have to deal with it today. She said, girl, it's just talking about my butt. My butt is just everywhere. She's so upset with me, baby. But what do you want me to do? Sometimes I got to let this animal out. They don't like that jiggling, baby. She don't like that. Mama doll does not like that jiggling. She does not like it whatsoever. She was very upset with me about those leggings. And then she'll compliment me after because she's very, my grandmother likes to call out my weight gain. And my mom knows I'm sensitive about it. So she'll say stuff, but then she'll compliment me as well at the same time. But baby, she be pissed off at me. Yep, jiggle it just a little bit, baby. Your mom is using a Shein thin satiny dress. I know that's right, honey. My mom still got her slips from back in the day, but she used to always go to we used to have a Filene's basement. I miss Filene's basement, but I guess they had a certain price on stockings and pantyhose, baby. She always had to go to Filene's basement to get these stockings to make sure that she was not going to run out of the damn stockings. All right. Yes, they still sell pantyhose. And yeah, where do you get them from? Amazon? Because I'm used to seeing the whole display. Remember when you used to go to like Macy's and JC Penney's, and before Macy's, here it was called Kaufman's. They actually had a hosiery section. So where is that at? Girl, Nancy, no, child, Nancy's still missing. Patty Garden, girl, how you doing? Welcome on in, baby. Nancy is still missing. My mother will wear stockings in 80-degree weather, old school. They thank you. Yes, you have to have them on. You have to have them on. We got slips from May Company. They're legit hard to, yeah, I would, baby. I wouldn't know where to find a pair of stockings from. First of all, I'm not putting all that on. I'm not. I'm just not going to do. Oh, you know what? I think Walmart, do they have tights? Walmart has tights, I believe. Oh, you used to be a man, honey. Yes, Filene's used to be our store, honey. We used to love us some Filene's because it was new to our area. So when it came, we enjoyed it. You can get you a piece of luxury out of Filene's too, honey, for a fraction of the price. Yes, you can. But it came and baby, it's gone. They done took it on out of our shopping center. We only had one, and that was it. I don't know. Them kids got that lady and PYT. You think they got a lot of listen, there's a few people that are saying that they saying it got something to do with that husband being the person that knows the dirt on the Clintons. But see, I don't want to talk about all of that right now. They claim that after Hillary and Bill did what they did and talked to and spoke with the people about Jeff and what he had going on, that Nancy was supposed to pop up. And I don't know if she was going to pop up with us or no longer with us, but that's when she was supposed to come on out and be like, oh, we found her, but honey, they say she's still missing. PYT, I no longer live in the land of conspiracy. I'm not going to say the conspiracy doesn't cross my mind, but I no longer reside there. Okay. I know Saks on 5th. Oh, no. It's off Saks. The discount Saks is now, they're closed. Honey, they're closing them up. They didn't close them up. And that does not mean, no, you cannot, just because, listen, things were on sale, but that doesn't mean you can get you a piece of Gucci or you can get you some Louis. That's not how that works with certain designers, especially the handbags. They got to bag that shit, box that ship, and ship it back. And ship it back to the Louis and ship it back to the Gucci. Yes, they do. They don't get to keep it and sell it and mark it down. That's not how that works. They run a strict program with their handbags. Yes, yes, they do. And Miss Mad About Music said, really? I'm 60. I still wear them for work and church. Y'all under 60 don't wear. I don't, honey, because why I'm gonna put what for what? Now, I will say this though, Miss Mad About Music. I think a lot of us replaced with Spanx and body garments, right? Because you figure waist trainers are now a thing. The Spanx, the Skims, and things like that. Girl, I don't think there's a Sears anymore. I don't think. I don't think there's a Sears or the Warehouse. I don't think it exists anymore. Oh, CVS might have. I haven't seen. I like CVS. I don't recall seeing any stockings there. And I don't. I don't recall no pantyhose down at. Well, you can. My Spanx that I had were a little bit below my knees, and then I used to have a pair of Spanx as well that were a full leg in length, so they did come down to the ankles. But for the most part, most of mine are shorts or they come to the knees. They come to the knees. But no, when I was younger, yes, I wore stockings and tights and things like that. And then when I used to go into the office where I had to dress, in a business, not business casual, but a business professional, I wore knee highs and stuff like that. I used to wear, as a matter of fact, I used to wear a lot of men's trouser socks because I just like those better. But baby, I don't know. Yeah, I ain't wearing no stockings right now. I'm not gonna do it. No, ma'am. I'm not gonna put it on. I am not. But no, I will wear something that will stop, me from shaking and jiggling all over the place, depending on where I'm going. You will sometimes catch me shaking and rattling and rolling at the ass, depending on where I'm at or what I'm doing. But for the most part, I do like to buy undergarments. I love Jockey for that, and they sell them in Walmart. It's a Jockey shorts. They're shorts. They come like to the middle of your thigh, and they do hold you in. I love those. They hold you in. They're like $10-11 a pair, but it's well worth the time. Well worth the time, especially if you are someone who, if you're heavier in the back side, if you got a lot going on in the back, you don't have to worry about your underwear, rising and going into your behind and stuff. I really love those for that. The people gonna get all this ass shaking ass. Oh, you have to do the compression stockings. Ooh, I bet that, honey, does that hurt? Ooh, I bet you that feels so tight. I know that'd be so tight. But yeah, y'all, that's all I got, honey. I don't have anything else for y'all. I'm getting sleepy, and although I don't really want to go to sleep, I don't think I can fight it any longer. But that's all we got, y'all. I wanted to check on Nancy. Give me 1 second. Let's get the latest on Nancy before we go, honey. One moment. Let me type in Nancy here into the Nancy Guthrie. What is going on, child? Oh, what is this? Oh, hold on a minute. Well, they said there was somebody crazy trespassing at her home. Let me see, honey. Well, I need Jockey because, baby, for always, forever, for life. When I share this video, I'll see if I can find the link on the Walmarts for those particular garments. Hold on, y'all. Bear with me a moment. How long? All right, hold on, y'all. Let me share my screen. What is going on, honey? Where is Nancy?
What the heck? This is crazy. A woman just comes up and just, oh my goodness, she's going. This is, whoa. Hey, what's going on? Are you the family? What got you to go up on the porch? Your family? Who are you?
And baby, that was a Texas plate. I hope they got sister girl's information. Ooh, I hope they got her information. What is that? What was that all about? Honey, she was trying to get to that. She wanted to start speed walking, but the car knew to start. Let me creep up and get her, honey. What was going on? Yeah, honey, that's weird. Unless she was family. But that was strange. Honey, they always cut, JLR, honey, they always cussing his ass out. So he don't give a damn, honey. He's crazy. He's crazy his goddamn self. JLR is crazy his goddamn self. Because, he done some time. Didn't JL, I think he did like 10 years. you know, he's been crazy. You know, now that's not him anymore, they say, because he did do all of those things when he was in the 20s, when he was in his 20s. But yes, you know, he was a prisoner, honey, because down there at the was it the Sandy? Is it Sandy? Oh, damn, you know, I'm so terrible. I'm always messing up something. Is it Sandy Hook? Whatever it was, he you know, he said he was somebody's uncle or something so that he can get child. Listen, he was up to, let's just say he was up to no good. All right. So I'm shocked that he's even allowed to even be on any of the scenes of anything that is going on where media is involved. But like I said, that was when he was in his 20s, back when he used to dress like a little a hip hop fella. Okay. Now JLR is running around acting like, you know, he doesn't have a pass. Uh-huh. But I don't want to pull up his business, but yes, indeedy. But that is not the update I was looking for. Let me see here if we have um anything else. Uh no, she's not. I was just pretty much coming on here to see, and she, you know, she's still missing, y'all. She's still missing. They're saying that the neighbor said something about during that time, their Wi-Fi, during that time that there something went on with their Wi-Fi. And when some of them go back to that date and time, their Ring camera, there's nothing there. It's they can't access it. So they feel like the person that they're showing who was at the door trying to, you know, hide himself from the camera with the oregano, if you will, whatever it was he grabbed on the side of the house, the weeds. And I said oregano because I'm being funny, but anywho, they feel like he had an antenna or something in his pocket, a Wi-Fi jammer and whatnot. So I don't know if they're now investigating that or not. She's been gone for 32 plus days. She has been gone for 32 plus days. The DNA from the glove they found, it was a waste of time. It doesn't have anything to do with, you know, whomever was in her home when they kidnapped her. You have people who bring out the fact of that man who was at her door had a flashlight in his mouth. And since his mouth was open, his eyebrows were exposed, you know, hopefully there's some type of DNA from him being inside of the home, especially if there was a struggle, if maybe the flashlight dropped out of his mouth that contains saliva. I don't know how you would collect all of that because that is not my area. Okay, I don't work there, but I find it weird that they just have nothing that well, nothing that they're not sharing with us right now. Hey, Reefs and Muffs mom, welcome on in. TB21, hello, hello, hello. So yeah, pretty much in a nutshell, baby, she is still missing. Yes, she is. So and the people, some of the media, they're still outside in front of Nancy's house, even after the sheriff is no longer allowing them to park. So now they have to take these long ass walks. They have no vehicle, so no place to, you know, get some air to recharge whatever their phones. They got to walk with their little generators and shit like that within the area if they still want to, you know, report on the situation and the story. But yeah, it's crazy. They still ain't found her, honey. So that's that. One of the doll sugars, hey doll, I don't know if she's in here or not, sent me something about what's going on with Pastor Jamal. Hold on. Because I didn't get a good chance to look at it yet. Give me a second. What's going on here? Jamal Bryant and Malaysia Pargo, you know, the girl from Basketball Wives. Something about a alleged relationship and baby. Is this old news or is this what is this here? Malaysia did confirm the miscarriage. confirm the miscarriage. It's alleged that the father was Pastor Jamal. But what? I don't know if this is new or old, but I don't remember. Y'all heard about that? Have y'all? Does anybody recall that story? Malaysia, from over there at the Basketball Wives in LA, having this alleged relationship with Pastor Jamal Bryant. I don't know if it's now, but I guess I don't know if this was before. And she had a miscarriage, and allegedly the baby daddy was him. Baby, they just on the pulpit pulling out peen and just doing the devil's work. Some of them are. I've never heard about this either. I don't think so. I mean, I don't know. At the same time, something about it sounds familiar, but maybe I'm confusing him with another one of his women that he was, that they said he was with. It's very sad about Nancy, because and then what's so sad is there's another story, and I believe Drop did what is it? It's Ashley Banfield or whatever the hell her last name is. It's her channel. Drop Dead Serious. I don't know if I've seen it on there or something else, but someone's alleging that it's a possibility that there was some type of SA assault, some type of SA. And I'm like, come on now, we're taking this shit a little too far. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like I wouldn't repeat or say something like that if there wasn't any proof. She's 84 years old and was not in the best health. We don't want to think about, on top of that someone went there. You know what I mean? But, people do have some sick ass ways, and they do sick shit, unfortunately. But oh, you said Jamal Bryant was looking thin, honey? He done lost weight. So yeah, that's all I got, y'all. I'm gonna get on out of here. Shout out and thank you again to Only Me 23 for not gifting one but 2 Unfiltered Doll memberships. Okay. Y'all have an amazing weekend, what's left of it, for those of you celebrating a birthday today or tomorrow, because I don't think that's my share. I don't think I'll be live tomorrow. I'm not sure yet. Happy birthday to you, and many, many more blessings to you. I hope you get everything that you want to get today. You better be having an amazing time, and remember, you better not pay for a damn thing, because baby, it's your birthday. It's your birthday. Why are you paying for that? All right, and let's go ahead and get y'all birthday song.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Everybody, if you ain't getting drunk, get the fuck out the club. If you ain't taking shots, get the fuck out the club. If you ain't come to party, get the fuck out the club. Now where my alcoholics? Let me see your hands up. Bring it up. Shake that healthy butt. Baby got boots and I cannot lie. You other brothers can't deny. Now when a girl walks in with an itty bitty waist and a round thing in your face.
And make sure, whomever you with, a gal, a boy,
feeling on my body while he rub up on my titties, call me.
Sure you get somebody to rub up on them titties. Happy birthday to you. Y'all have an amazing day, honey. Of course, we are going to leave up out of here with a little bit of foolishness. And I will see you all later. I don't know when, but it ain't going to be today. Bye.
Oh! Shout out to everybody. I had fun. I gotta be good.
Nothing beats a jet suit holiday. You could save 200 pounds per person, ho. That's about 50 pounds for a family of 4. Nothing beats a jet suit holiday. 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 For a family of 4. For a family of 4. You got to mix and shake and work and drop the roll low. For a family of 4. For a family of 4. circuit, drop it low. You got the shake, drop, work, drop, shake, shake.
Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to the Unfiltered Doll Reactions.
Alright, Slash.
I wish you worked the phone.
Yeah. Please tell me that I can't, that I won't, that I fail, that I'll never make it out, yeah. Please tell me all the bad, never good, fill my head full of every single doubt, yeah. Please say any negative thoughts, I pop off when I hear people say I cannot. I get off to the thought of proving everyone wrong, I won't stop to the top, so you better back off again.